Hey there peeps, what is up? It's Lucas here from Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, and I'm here to give you the WWE WrestleMania Night 1 in a nutshell. Don't forget guys to like, share, subscribe, and later on we'll be going live on our YouTube channels discussing this in more detail. But here's what I thought of some of the kind of taster notes, I guess, of what I've got to say tonight when we go live at 5 PM on YouTube. So the first match of the night, after obviously the weather delay, which we'll get to on our live show later, was Drew McIntyre looking to challenge for the WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley. Phenomenal match by both two, really physical, really kind of in your face and smash up, which is what it needed to be. And Lashley looks like a star. He has a star entrance, he's MVP by his side, he has the awesome finisher now. Like, it's really looking good for him. Sadly, obviously Drew didn't pick up the win, but Bobby Lashley is the guy to lead the company going from this moment forward. Following this, we had the low point of the night. I hate to say it, it was the women's tag team Turmoil match. Just a lot of botches, a lot of kind of miscommunications in this one. But ultimately won by Natalya and Tamina, but they need to invest some time in getting the women's tag division looking really good. It was good that obviously teams like Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and Lana and Naomi wore matching gear. Get them a tag team name, get them joint theme. You know, there's a lot that needs to go into this, but we shall see tomorrow night. Tamina finally getting a WrestleMania moment too, which is huge, considering she's been part of the company now for 12 years. Following this with an excellent match between Cesaro and Seth Rollins that wouldn't have looked out of place on like an NXT takeover really, except from it being about half the length. That's another good point for this show. No match went over, I think, 18 minutes, even the main event. Like, every match was just really kind of well timed. It was well paced like throughout the show. Following this, we had an interesting match as we had the contest for the Raw Tag Team Championships as AJ Styles and Omos were successful in capturing the tag team titles. And this was a very, very odd match. And I've got more to say on this a bit later on, but I will say that Omos looked really strong in this. You know, and I think the dynamic between Omos and AJ works. And we'll get to that a bit later on, but very weird tag match for certain, but new Raw Tag Team Champions, not really surprisingly with that one. Following this, we had the steel cage match between Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. Now this obviously started with Jackson Ryker and Elias attacking Braun on the outside of the cage, so that allowed obviously Shane to get some sort of advantage in this because obviously there's that size difference. It was a bit back and forth, a bit my go, your go at times. There was some nice use of the cage like throughout the contest, but the main use of the cage came really good like towards the end as Shane was about to leave the cage and couldn't resist having one last kind of wave goodbye to Braun, and Braun grabbed his hand, ripped the cage and pulled Shane back into the cage. But I thought that was good. But then the penultimate bump, the big bump of the match though, came when Braun threw Shane off the top of the steel cage to the ring, and he landed with a thud. I think everyone in Raymond James Stadium thought he was dead, but somehow he survived. And Braun, he's still looking a bit stupid because he could have just climbed out the cage and that would have done the stipulation like it's justice. But he decided that he was going to get back into the ring and deliver the running power slamming at the pinfall 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring to finally vanquish Shane McMahon. I kind of thought this was going to lead afterwards Mania, but I think now it's definitely done. I think, you know, you got thrown off the cage, mate, and you got pinned clean in the middle of the ring. I think that might be why they did it, but you know, first steel cage back in 35 years at Mania. Yeah, I was happy. Please do more of them. They're really enjoyable. Up next came the Bad Bunny tag match. The Bad Bunny team with Damian Priest, and they were successful in defeating The Miz and John Morrison, who had possibly the worst audio cued Mania entrance ever. I don't know what that entrance was, but it wasn't good. As they came out singing their new Hey Ho song, but it was really poorly audioed. It was, yeah. Anyway, the actual match, it was actually decent. Bad Bunny did a lot of the match, which makes me believe, and there's something I'm going to get into later on, I'll get to my theory later on about why that was. He did very well for a celebrity, but then you see what the problem of a celebrity, you know, basically ripping it of, you know, someone who was WWE champion less than a month ago. But yeah, he did well. There were some surprising moments. There was a Canadian destroyer on the outside, which everyone's going to rave about. But we'll get to that a bit later on. But Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, they won the match. And don't forget guys, remember to like, share and subscribe and follow this channel for all great wrestling content coming up. And don't forget to check out my interview with current NXT UK superstar Mark Andrews. And then finally we had our main event of the evening, which was the match, the SmackDown Women's Championship between Bianca Belair, challenger, and the winner of the Royal Rumble this year, taking on Sasha Banks. Banks sporting a new look. A lot of new looks tonight, and new themes as well, people like Seth Rollins, but anyway, new look for Sasha Banks. Bianca Belair looked like a star in this. It was amazing. That hair whip at the end, just that her strength throughout the contest, it was really good. It was really well done. One of the best women's matches they've ever had. It was a really good way to end the night with this match. But look, I've got more thoughts, but that's going to be for later. Don't forget to join us at 5 PM today, where we discuss this in full detail with Scott, Rob, Dan, and myself. And don't forget, like I said, to like, share, and subscribe. Till then, guys, bye for now.